What is in your spirit, and how did you conquer it?
It was so much happened today, right? And like this is all gonna tie in. But being here today, when Pastor Crystal first reached out to me, I was like, oh yeah, okay. And then when I seen the title, it said "Women Made Whole," and I was like, God made whole. I know I'm not whole, you know. So how are you gonna use me? Because I've always been raised with this mindset, like don't tell me nothing you never been through. You know, so I'm like, how am I going to speak from a whole point of view when I'm not whole, God? Like, what do you want me to say to these people? Then she was like, well, it is from different aspects. And God has literally been working on me on each and every aspect for the last 2 years, from health, financially, spiritually, emotionally. And I was just like, well, it was like a full thing. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. And then when she said she'll reach out to my apostle and ask her, and I was like, if it's not meant for me, she gonna say no. She know I'm not ready, right? She says yes. And I was like, what? Okay, all right. So I was like, okay, normally we minister, but then we minister to ourselves, but then whoever ministers is ministering to us too. And everything everybody said, like, okay, God, I thank you. And one thing I really got, like, and I want to say to people, like, when it comes life in general, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. Once you realize that, then you go and get help. It's so vital to get help. And I was saying that because writing was always, you talk to people and you feel misunderstood or nobody understands you. And so, like, you close in, you hold everything, and yeah, you talk to God, and then sometimes you have your days, God, are you even listening? Like, do you even understand where I'm coming from? You know? And then writing became an outlet. But then it got to a point where that wasn't working for me. And it's now where I realize, like, okay, God, send me people who are going to listen to me, understand me, and push me. Don't just listen, talk about me, and ooh, you going through that? Ooh, for real? Man, no. I need you. Okay, after you listen to me, what are you going to say to me? How can you impact my life? And there goes another thing. The speaker said, don't allow people to validate you, or don't, whatever, something like that.
Deliverance
right?
from people.
Deliverance from people. And that's where I have a motto: aim to impact, not impress. Aim to impact, not impress is because I really looked for acceptance in people. I really,
as women, we all do.
Your people's opinion mattered to me. And if you didn't like certain things, it was like, okay, they don't like it, so I'm not gonna do it. This, that, parents, everything, expectations. And I realized just a couple weeks ago, we put these expectations on people, when our expectations are really supposed to be on God. God and God only. Once we realize that, then however people feel, if it's not pushing you, if it's not an asset, if it's not adding to your life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And all how I got here is 2012, just like you. I rededicated my life back to God. I was raised with a two-parent home, but my dad is an unbeliever and my mother is an unbeliever. My mother is a believer, my dad is an unbeliever till this day. So the morals was very imbalanced. There are days, I was doing things to please my mom, I was doing things to please my dad, and realized that none of it worked, and I did my own thing. I became very rebellious. Mm-hmm. And being rebellious led me to the streets, and it was something about the streets that just, like, they accepted me. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I was looking for acceptance. But even in that looking for acceptance, I had to do what they did in order to fit in order to be accepted. Mm-hmm. And I battled with that from the age of 13 to the age of 21. And being in that back and forth place, battled suicide, I battled depression, I battled anxiety, I battled insecurity, and all of that. And it led me to be promiscuous. And I'm 27 going on 28. And yeah. That's how many. Yeah. The partners. Mm-hmm. And it's real, and I was telling somebody this, and I could laugh about it. Back then, you're ashamed. Mm-hmm. But I thank God because I don't have no STD,
Thank you,
no
God.
AIDS.
Wow.
You know, yes, I miscarried twice, but I'm thanking God that when I do get married, I'll be able to conceive the
ready.
child. You know, when
Amen.
in its time,
Right.
in due time.
Right.
You know, but I'm here. You got people that are ashamed of it.
Right.
You know, but I had to go through that because it's people worse. You know, they're dying. You know, they're looking for love in all the wrong places. They're looking for attention and acceptance in all the wrong places. And my purpose now is I understand, like, whatever you're looking for, you're only gonna find it in God.
Amen. Amen.
You're only gonna find it in God,
Amen.
whether it's in your finances, whether it's health, whether it's emotionally, spiritually. All that fulfillment comes from God first.
Let me just pause you. Anybody can relate in terms of looking for love in all the wrong places. It could be a physical relationship. It can be acceptance of people. That is so. You have said so much in terms of where we try to pour in that has no real value, can't change you, can't fix you, won't be there.